Using just the equipment from my 72-hour bag, we end up with French toast. Let's see how it's done and what you need. Going from the bottom, we're going to start with our cook kit, which is the MSR Pocket Rocket. Then we have a pan with aluminum foil on top, wax paper, and a bandana to hold it steady. Now we move on to our mixing bowl, which is a cup and a spoon. We have our 2 eggs required for this recipe, 4 slices of bread, a lighter to light the stove with, Coffee Mate creamers, 3 per egg, little container of honey, and some salt. 2 optional ingredients to give it a little extra kick are some vanilla extract and some powdered sugar. Make sure not to confuse this with something else. We begin with our cup and place 1 egg inside. We don't want to overfill it, so we're going to add our 3 creamers per 1 egg, and we're going to give this a good stir. Now the trick to this would be to have a fork. It's a little bit easier to mix it with. Actually, it's a lot bit easier, but we use a spoon because that's what we have. We're also going to add the honey and salt. As you see, we give it a good stir. We want to mix everything together. We want to break up the egg yolk, and that honey is going to be the hardest to try to get mixed in. The warmer it is, the easier, so maybe put it in your pocket beforehand. Now we're going to add the vanilla extract and just a drop. This will overpower your meal, so just a couple and you're good to go. We are now ready to prepare our first 2 slices of toast. We have an MSR Pocket Rocket stove, which is very easy to light. One of the reasons I selected it for my 72-hour kit. Here we have it. You want to turn the heat all the way down. Adjustable is also nice for when we have the aluminum pan that's going to transfer heat almost immediately. You can see my flame output is very minimal. Now, conventional wisdom when you're making French toast requires you dipping the toast in the bowl. Well, as you can see, this is very difficult when you have a small cup like this using your 72-hour kit equipment. So rather than that, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and place it in the pan in the first place. And we're going to take the cup and just pour some on top. What this allows us to do is have a much smaller container and still get away with the French toast. All we're going to do is pour some on top. If some spills offside, that's okay. And what we want to do is get an even consistency throughout the toast so one doesn't burn and it's just a good French toast product. When we're done, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and put some on both sides. You'll now observe that I have failed because most of the toast is burnt in the center because of the aluminum pan. Ideally, you want something a little bit thicker that's going to transfer the heat, so what you want to do is back down that temperature as much as you can. Again, it's toast at this point, so spreading on top is going to be a little bit difficult. Now remember, as we're cooking this, we need to check our peripherals. Here I examine a bee in the campsite. What you also want to be doing is looking out for the zombies and whatever else you're trying to evade, or maybe even just the general public. Now continue flipping this once or twice until you cook both sides evenly, and if it looks like it's a failed attempt, that's because it is. Do not throw in the towel yet. Salvage whatever you can, throw some powdered sugar on top, but we're going to continue cooking the rest of it on a real stove. Here we have my frying pan. We're going to go ahead and set it to about the same temperature heating, a medium-low, if you will, on the gas or electric, whatever you're using. And we're going to start the same process, putting our bread on top and spreading our egg mixture over evenly as we can. When we're done, we're going to go ahead and flip it and do it to both sides. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and flip it using our spoon because we didn't have a spatula with us. And that's what you want to try to perfect, is the time that it takes to cook. Something with golden brown is good. It should be able to just flip right over when you're done with both sides, and now we're ready to serve. Go ahead, and this is where the wax paper comes in handy. It acts as a plate. Just set it down, use it as your surface to eat off of. And we're going to go ahead and prepare it with our powdered sugar. Just go ahead and spread that on top. Make it as much goodness as you want. Add more or less. It doesn't matter. It just looks good and tastes even better. This is the side-by-side comparison of our initial batch. This is our perfected using the inside. This is the not so much perfected using outdoor gear. We're going to go ahead and give this stuff a taste test and see how it compares. First with our failed attempt.
Pretty good.
Now our perfected masterpiece.
This is good stuff. Much better.
But we're not done yet. Throw on the remaining eggs onto the frying pan and grill like you would scrambled eggs. And as far as the recipe is concerned, you may add more toast and egg as you choose. I typically take 2 slices per egg and mixture. Go ahead, if you want to have more or less, adjust it accordingly.
You need to ask yourself,
in a time of stressful situation where you're bugging out, is it really worth making all that to have a warm meal that's complicated, hard to make, possibly challenging on your cooking equipment? Or would you rather just worry about how to boil water? Have yourself a mountain house, spaghetti with meat sauce, and has about a 7-year shelf life, so you don't have to replace it every year. I think that's the way to go. But if this isn't an option, we just showed you how to have a good one. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. This is the One Day Ahead channel. Peace.